好久不见，我叫 Denise. Long time no see. I'm Denise, the Pharmacist filmmaker. So today we're going to be going over my February 2020 Mandarin study plan. It has 4 parts to it. Let's get right into it. So the first part is the most important part, and that's keeping my motivation up to continue studying Mandarin. I can be really consistent for like 3 or 4 months, and then I just don't continue being consistent. So for me to get to conversational fluency as I want, which is my goal, I have to continue being consistent. So keeping my motivation to continue studying is really, really important, and that's why it's always number 1 in my study plan. So this time around, what I'm planning to do for February is to go to a Mandarin speaking meetup. This is extremely scary. So I have gone to a meetup before, and everybody was really fluent, and they were all a lot older than me. They were all like, I wouldn't say all, but like some of them were in their 60s, and they have been to China, like they do business, and they talk, they can read newspapers in Mandarin, they can talk about anything, like they're fluent. So it wasn't that they were mean or anything. In fact, like some of them were like this one guy was trying to teach me like the stories on how to learn how to write the Hanzi, the characters in Mandarin, and he was teaching me like where it originated from, and yeah, it was cool, but it felt so awkward because like I couldn't say anything, and they were all, I felt like they had to dumb down because I was there. Like had I not been there, they'd be like, so what do you think of the impeachment of President Trump? But in Mandarin, and then they'd be talking like, oh, well, I think, and then I was there and they were like, oh, so how are you? I just felt like, oh no. But yeah, it was terrifying, but I have to go back and try again. And I feel like now that I know what it's like, where like you need to go prepared to have things to say, like I'll be able to better prepare and just try again and get over the fear, because that's what it is to learn something new. You look foolish for a bit, and then eventually one day, after being really consistent, after practicing, and after being disciplined and dedicated, you might be able to talk about things, like I'll be eventually talking about politics and nature and whatever hobbies in Mandarin, but I have to get through all the awkward, scary parts first. And there probably will always be awkward and scary parts, even when I'm fluent. The second part of my February 2020 Mandarin study plan is attending my in-person Mandarin classes. So I have to make sure to go to all of my classes, and which isn't really a problem now that I'm older, and I paid for these classes. Like I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna be there because I paid for this with my money that I worked for, and I'm gonna go sit in the front of the class and I'm gonna learn. And when I don't understand something, I'm gonna ask a question. So I'm like, I think, the teacher's teaching from like one of my last Mandarin classes. The teacher was teaching, and she was teaching us, we were learning like, the finals and initials, like different sounds in pinyin, how to say different things and the noises different words make together. And she was talking about how like it got very specific at one point with how to say like Z versus ZH versus Q. And it's like, to my American English speaking ears, it sounded very similar. So she was giving us tips on like, okay, your tongue needs to raise up for when you say this. You need to close your mouth and let the air out for this one. And now this time suck the air in. And this time only the sides of your tongue should go to raise them to the roof and make the noise. So it was like intense. So as she went on, I was like, what? And everybody's like, yeah, we get it. Lies. No, you're all just scared to say something. The way I was terrified at the meetup, that's how they're terrified in class, I think. But in class, I don't know, there's just something about me needing to get the value out of what I paid for, and like it's my time also that I put in there, so like I need to understand what's going on. So I stopped the teacher and I was like, can we review that again? Like, which one is which? And then she was like, oh, yeah, sure. As soon as I asked my one question, everybody, like the floodgates opened. Everybody had a question now. No. I thought you guys were so okay and y'all knew everything and I was the only one who was lost. But I guess, that's what it is to be in class. Like, it's good. It's good. We're all beginners. We're all learning. We're all trying. So it was awesome. I really am enjoying the class. So attend all my classes, continue being present, and I need to rewrite my notes 3 times in the week. So I did very well last month in January, rewriting my notes in outline form instead of using note cards. So I took out the whole note card thing for February, and instead I'm going to plan to outline my notes 3 times. So I'm reviewing it, and we'll see how that goes. The third part is I want to continue with Yo-Yo Chinese, the online study course, self-learning study course that I bought online, and continue just doing that. I'm shooting for 4 times this month to do a couple of different lessons each time and strengthen my foundation of Mandarin to supplement me going to the in-person Mandarin classes. The fourth part of my study plan is, again, I'm going to watch one Netflix show or film in Mandarin. And yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff on my queue that I just need to figure out what I want. I realize somebody told me actually that the ancient shows, they don't have the ancient Mandarin speaking shows. They speak differently than like modern day shows and the way modern people would speak. So she was like, maybe don't like, she said like her and like other like native speakers, they can listen to that and be fine because they grew up like hearing poetry in Mandarin and that's sort of how they speak. That's what it mimics in those ancient shows. But she said, look for more modern stuff so it's more like how people actually speak. And that's what I'm really concerned about because I want to, and I will, become conversationally fluent in Mandarin. So I want to be hearing things that are how I should be speaking and what I'll be hearing. So it worked out because I didn't really like the ancient shows anyways. I like the modern stuff. So those are my 4 parts of my February 2020 Mandarin study plan. Continue with me on this journey to conversational fluency. Please stay with me. Thank you so much for watching. Xièxiè. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so YouTube can let you know anytime I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Zàijiàn.